My son's principal called asking why we enrolled him in 2 schools. Principal Williams sounded confused. Mr. Thompson, we need to discuss Timothy's enrollment at Madison Elementary. It seems he's also registered at Riverside Academy. I was at work, stunned. That's impossible. Timmy goes to your school. Our attendance records show he's been absent every Tuesday and Thursday for 2 months. Riverside called saying they have a student with matching information who attends only those days. My son was 7. He couldn't drive, couldn't plan something like that, but somehow he had. When I picked him up, I stayed calm. How was school? Good? Learn anything new? Fractions. They're hard. Which teacher taught fractions? Mrs. Peterson or someone else? His face went pale. Then the truth came out. 2 months earlier, during a field trip to the Science Museum, Timmy had wandered off and joined a group from Riverside Academy. Their teacher, Mr. Joaquin, was doing science tricks. Volcanoes, slime, explosions, and Timmy was mesmerized. He followed them to their bus. Mr. Joaquin thought he was a new transfer who got mixed up. Timmy didn't correct him. He gave a fake last name and said his parents were divorced. Paperwork coming soon. Riverside was a STEM school, completely different from Madison's traditional setup. Timmy loved it, but he also loved his friends at Madison, so he built a schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at Madison, Tuesdays and Thursdays at Riverside. He told each school he had medical appointments and forged notes. How did you even get to Riverside? I asked. The city bus. I used my lunch money. My 7-year-old had been taking public transit alone. And enrollment? I said you and Mom were fighting about custody, so whoever had me dropped me off. They said paperwork could wait. He did double homework, kept 2 identities, learned at 2 grade levels. At Madison, he was the quiet, artistic kid. At Riverside, he was Timothy Roberts, the science prodigy who started a robotics club. He'd invented entire parents, a dad astronaut and a mom marine biologist. When both principals compared notes, they were amazed. He had stellar grades in both places. We thought he was gifted, Riverside's principal said. He is, Madison's principal replied. He's on the honor roll at 2 schools. A psychologist evaluated him and found he wasn't acting out. He just needed both worlds. Madison gave him friendship and security. Riverside gave him challenge and excitement. Most kids struggle to fit into one school identity, the therapist said. Timothy built 2 and excelled. The obvious solution was to pick one school, but the principals wanted to collaborate. After testing, he was labeled profoundly gifted. They designed a dual enrollment plan, the youngest in state history. Madison for arts and social skills, Riverside for STEM. The bus company, horrified they'd unknowingly been transporting a 7-year-old, offered free supervised rides and turned it into a PR story about supporting gifted kids. Timmy became a case study at a state conference. The 7-year-old who outsmarted 2 schools. Some experts called him a genius. Others said he had boundary issues. News outlets loved it. Second grader lives double life went viral. Parents wrote letters, some admiring, some judging us for not noticing. My wife cried realizing he'd been taking city buses alone. He could have been kidnapped! But Timmy had a safety plan. In a notebook, he'd logged every route, driver's name, and backup procedure. He'd memorized both school phone numbers, police contacts, even bus customer service. He had contingencies for his contingencies. 6 months later, his dual enrollment works perfectly. He won Riverside's science fair with a project about educational psychology, basically himself. At Madison, he wrote and illustrated a book about a boy living in 2 worlds. Another parent told me their son now wanted dual enrollment too. Your kid started something, they said. 4 students have since followed his model, and the district is drafting an official policy called the Thompson Protocol. Timmy, now 8, just asked to add a 3rd school for languages. We said no. He secretly joined an online academy anyway under the name Timothy Peterson and takes Spanish classes during lunch. His teacher says his accent is flawless. We've stopped being surprised. Our son exists in multiple worlds, and he's happier than most kids limited to one. His therapist says as long as he's thriving, let him be, though she warned us to check our credit cards. Smart kids find creative funding. Last month's bill had charges for educational supplies. Turns out Timmy started a tutoring business teaching other kids how to manage multi-school. Learning he's 8 and already has business cards. Timothy Thompson Roberts Peterson, educational consultant. Madison's principal laughed when I showed her. At least he's using his powers for good. So far, I said, watching my son explain quantum physics to 2nd graders at recess. So far?